Okay, I don't make that many comparison videos, especially Sweden versus Germany. So in today's video, I wanted to focus a little bit on food because I received a comment and that inspired me to actually compare Swedish food with German food. What are the similarities and what are the differences? Maybe before you watch this video, leave a comment down below what you think the similarities and differences are between German and Swedish food if you have tried both. So thank you for the inspiration for this video. Let's get started. So let's start with the similarities. So one thing I noticed Germany and Sweden have in common are potatoes. You know, the love for potatoes. So I don't know who actually wins the competition. Well, actually, I think I know. It's Sweden. I have not seen so many potato dishes, and I feel like Sweden always kind of sneaks in some variation of potatoes. I do know from my childhood that we ate quite a bit of potato as well, but I have to say it wasn't that yummy. I remember that it was kind of jacket potatoes, like baked potatoes, but we just ate it with butter and pate. I don't know, such a weird dish. Or we had kind of potato salad. So I'm not the biggest fan of potato, but I think you can't escape really the potato love here in Sweden. When you go to restaurants, like traditional restaurants with traditional Swedish food, I think you will most likely find some dishes have potatoes, if not all dishes have some kind of potato in there. But it's not that I don't like it, and especially if it's not, as boring as I used to eat when I was a child, then it's absolutely fine. And I've already eaten quite a bit of potatoes since I moved to Sweden. So yeah, I think although it's quite similar, Germany and Sweden, maybe Sweden does win a little bit. They go to the next level when it comes to potatoes. The second similarity is also kind of just an ingredient, and that is herring. So herring you have in Germany and in Sweden. So I'm familiar with it. I ate it also in my childhood, and you can buy it and everything. But then again, I have to say Sweden takes it to the next level again, just like potatoes, because there are so many variations of herring in the supermarket you can buy. And also you have herring as part of dishes in a restaurant. I personally like herring, and just talking about it, I really would like to eat herring right now. I quite like the pickled herring they have here. And they also have different sauces, like mustard sauces, and you can do it yourself. I actually looked up a recipe the other day, and I think I will try to make my own mustard sauce for the herring. But yeah, it's quite yummy. And although both exist in both countries, and I think people are familiar with it, Sweden just takes it to the next level. And the last similarity, I would say, it's meat. I think Germany and Sweden are equally meat eaters, or the majority. It just differs a little bit, maybe what type of meat. I think in Sweden you also eat, elk, which is, I don't know if you can do that in Sweden. Maybe it's imported, but it's definitely not that common. But then in Germany, you have schnitzel, or you have bratwurst, like sausages, which are very common. Or Schweinshaxen, which I think is more common in the south, maybe in Bavaria, where I'm coming from. And it's basically like a pork leg. It sometimes even depends where in Germany you are from. And you have the currywurst, for example, in Berlin, and it's more common there. And of course, in Sweden, you have the meatballs. And in Germany, of course, we eat meatballs as well, but they are quite a Swedish thing. So these are the similarities. If you know any more similarities, do let me know in the comments down below. Let's talk a little bit about the differences in Swedish and German food. The first thing I want to mention is cheese, and especially cheese in a tube. That is such a Swedish thing. I had no idea. Yes, we as Germans are familiar with cheese in a tube. Maybe we have one or two different ones, it's not that common. It's not like things people obsess about it, but I have the feeling here, talking about the next level again, I think Sweden is obsessed with cheese in a tube. When you go to the supermarket, you have a whole wall of different cheeses in the tube. And I already have experimented with a few tastes, but I haven't really found the perfect one. Although, talking about cheese in a tube, something also very Swedish is caviar in a tube. And I have to say, Swedes just nailed it. It's so addictive. I had to stop buying it because I was literally just eating bread with caviar 3 times a day. So that's also something in a tube. But yeah, it's very Swedish. I remember it from IKEA where you could buy that as well. But then it was just an occasion. Now I just love the saltiness. I love fish, you know, it's perfect combination. But yeah, if you like anything like that, fish, salty, then Sweden has sorted you out. The next difference I would say is bread. So bread actually is just so much better in Germany. I haven't been to a country where the bread is better than Germany. Of course, not all bread, but when you go to a bakery, you just have all these different breads and it's amazing. Yes, bakeries exist here as well, but they never have this variety of breads I would expect or I'm used to from Germany. Of course, when it comes to pastries, I feel like Sweden has nailed it, you know, with all their really nice buns, the cinnamon rolls and the cardamom rolls and saffron. I remember in London, I went to Fabrik all the time, which is a Swedish bakery, because they just had the best pastries. But when it comes to bread, Germany is just ruling it. I also remember when my parents came to visit here, you know, and I normally keep up like the tradition that you go to the bakery and you get rolls or like different bread, different things you can choose from. But I just didn't have the opportunity here. The bakery which was available didn't really have the things I wanted. So yeah, I guess maybe I really compare it to Germany, but Sweden is not as great. Although I obviously have to say there is very delicious bread here. It's just more the variety of bread. Germany is better. One thing I find here in Sweden you have quite often are these smörgåsbord. I really had to look that up. It's a little bit difficult to say, but basically it's like a buffet style and it's very Swedish traditional food, like fish, like herring, for example, in different variations. Then you have cold and warm foods, especially at Christmas. The julbord, I'm absolutely in love. And when we tried it the first time, the first Christmas, we moved here to Sweden, we immediately said, this is going to be our Christmas tradition. We will do that every year now. And if you can find any other smörgåsbords, you know, we are totally up for it. I think the other day we went to one, it was kind of a brunch style and it's just amazing. I just love the selection Swedes have, you know. I mean, I mentioned it already. I love fish, so that they have a variety of fish as well. It's just really cool. But yeah, if you want to come to Sweden, then expect this and enjoy it. Yeah. And when I think about Germany, we don't have anything really traditional. Of course, there are buffets available, but it's not always the same food. It could be any style of buffet. So we don't have that tradition like it exists here in Sweden. And the last thing I really want to highlight, although I kind of mentioned it here already, is fish. I feel like Sweden really loves fish because they have quite a few dishes where fish is part of it. And we don't really have that in Germany. And let me pick up my laptop to actually read the different things because I'm not that familiar yet and I haven't even tried all of it. But let's start with gravlax. And you see a picture here, or the Janssens frestelse, Janssens temptation, sandwich cake, or smörgåstårta, which I haven't tried, but I've seen it so many times. And then the last thing is surströmming. And I think the last thing I have never mentioned because I'm super scared of, and I think people ask me already if I don't want to try it, and I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I heard so much. I haven't even watched any videos, to be honest, but I heard that it smells so bad that I don't even know what it is like, but I already feel sick. I think I need to be here a few more years So I will try it for you and document it, but I'm scared of it and I'm not ready yet. But yeah, there is a love for fish here in Sweden. So if you love fish, you are in a good country to be. I love fish, so I really enjoy the variations they offer here. And I still have a lot to discover. So we'll see what I will try next. Well, that is it for this video. Do let me know what you thought about those similarities and differences. Let me know if you have to add anything. And well, enjoy your day and I will see you in my next video. Hey do!